Rugby Championship action coming to you from Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in Port Elizabeth. Welcome to it. South Africa against Australia for the second time in 2018. The Wallabies are victorious in Brisbane, 23 points to 18, in a game that the Springboks feel they did much better than the scoreline suggested, and they get a shot at retribution today in Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium, in a year and a week in which the centenary of Nelson Mandela's birth has been celebrated and commemorated. There are Australia's results, just the one win in the Rugby Championship so far, that victory against the Springboks in Brisbane, and coming off a loss at home to Argentina 2 Saturdays ago. And this is how they line up. Folau Fainga'a starts a test match for the first time. Tatafu Polota now withdrawing yesterday. Scott Sio wins his 50th test cap at Loosehead. Izack Rodda and Adam Coleman are the lock forwards. Coleman missed the test in Brisbane against South Africa. Hooper and Pocock reunited in the back row, and Ned Hanigan fills the blindside flank jersey with Pete Samu and Luke Ntui unavailable. Will Genia and Kurtley Beale, the same halfback combination that played against the Springboks in Brisbane, and so too in midfield, where Matt Tumua and Reece Hodge continue their combination. But there's a return for Israel Folau. He missed the game in Brisbane. He was initially chosen at fullback there. Dane Haylett-Petty moved to fullback and has retained that slot since then. So Israel Folau on the wing where he was against Argentina. Brandon Paenga-Amosa, who started the 3 games against Ireland in June, drafted onto the bench after the withdrawal yesterday of Polota now. Well, final moments in the dressing room for Siya Kolisi and his Springboks. 15th of September will be long remembered. That 2-point victory in Wellington against the All Blacks. There's a rotation at loosehead prop. Tendai Mtawarira back into the starting lineup. No change at hooker or tight head with Marx and Malherbe. Eben Etzebeth and Franco Mostert have been Rassie Erasmus's go-to men in the second row in the starting lineup. But there's a first test start for Sikhumbuzo Notshe, who fills the number 8 jersey. Warren Whiteley injuring a groin during the week. Kolisi captains from the side of the scrum with Pieter-Steph du Toit at 7. De Klerk and Pollard, no change among the halfbacks, but injuries to Damian Terlendi and to Lucanio mean there's a new centre combination. Esterhuizen and Kriel, who played together against Wales in Washington in the first test of the season. And a first test start for Cheslin Kolbe on the right wing. Aphiwe Dyantyi has been in scintillating form, and Willie le Roux in the number 15 jersey once again. So as we mentioned, Steven Kitshoff reverts to the bench. Marco van Staden gets a potential opportunity for a second test cap off the bench, and the backline replacements: Embrose Papier, Elton Jantjies and Damian Willemse. Almost set to go here in Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. The Springboks have never lost a test match here. They've played 5, won 4 and drawn 1. The Wallabies have not played a test match here before today, and are looking for their first win in South Africa since 2011. Michael Hooper leads out the Wallabies in his 86th test match. David Pocock captained the team in his injury-enforced absence, as the mosaic in the centre of the field pays tribute to the late President Nelson Mandela. And the Springboks will get a rousing welcome. The MP Warriors will come out first. And after the pageantry, there will be the entry of the Springboks, led by Siya Kolisi in his 36th test match and his 8th as captain. There were goosebump moments when he led his country for the first time in the test series against England, but this, his 8th test as captain, is something extra special. Some of us had the privilege of going to his primary school Msingeni Primary in nearby Zwide earlier in the week to see the very field on which this man played rugby for the first time, and heard from his coaches at that school, at the African Bombers Club, and from his school, Grey High School in Port Elizabeth, and on the soil where he was born and raised. Siya Kolisi leads out his Springboks.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the South African flag bearer for today.
Pieter-Steph du Toit, absolutely outstanding in this Rugby Championship. The most tackles in the competition and the most carries by a South African player as well, so contributing in every aspect of the game. And now we will stand by for the national anthems. Victor Matfield said in the week he's never experienced the South African anthem being sung any better than here in Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium.
Be upstanding for the singing of the national anthems. We'll start with the Australian national anthem, which will be sung today by Lee Scott.
Australians, oh let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing. Advance Australia fair.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to celebrate the centenary of the birth of Nelson Mandela and as part of their hashtag Smash the Label campaign, Rugby Championship tournament sponsor Castle Lager has printed the South African national anthem on 60,000 glasses that you would have received when you entered the stadium today. So you'll be singing alongside the Princess of Africa, Yvonne Chaka Chaka.
Tea
Well, I don't know about you, but I don't think Victor Matfield was wrong. Absolutely wonderful rendition of the anthem. And the flag bearer for South Africa, Zelda Lachranzi, the former PA to Madiba, and Yvonne Chaka Chaka with the singing of the anthem. With me in commentary, a former Springbok hooker, Hanyani Shimangi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Matthew. Oh, what an atmosphere here as the two captains meet. Certainly a Springbok team that will feel they have unfinished business with this Wallaby team, and will look for a better performance than what they had in Brisbane. A Wallaby team under pressure and very dangerous.
Yeah, can you hear me? Right.
Jerome Garces of France is the referee. 12 times he's refereed test matches involving South Africa, and just the 3 wins for South Africa. They've lost the last 8 test matches with him as the referee, and he's taken charge of South Africa against Australia once in Cape Town back in 2013. Almost set to go, and joining us pitchside is former Springbok captain Jean de Villiers. Amazing atmosphere in Port Elizabeth, Jean.
Thank you, Matthew. It is amazing here. The Madiba magic still around, and the atmosphere down here is absolutely unbelievable. A lovely rendition of the national anthem. You see the Springbok team, last couple of words of inspiration there, and then it's rugby time. Australian team, they'll be set to go as well. They'll be hyped up and psyched up for this one, so we're in for an absolute humdinger.
A 50th test cap for Scott Sio, who debuted against New Zealand in Sydney back in 2013. South Africa won the toss and chose to kick off. Handré Pollard with ball in hand, and almost good to go in the 87th test match between South Africa and Australia, the first time they've met in this stadium. Massive roar from over 42,000 people inside this wonderful stadium as Michael Hooper juggled the ball off the kickoff. And back for Kurtley Beale, and the interception! What a way for South Africa to start! Brilliant read from Aphiwe Dyantyi, who has his 6th test try. Got a brace in Wellington against New Zealand, and he's on the board inside 30 seconds in Port Elizabeth.
Well, it's a gift for Aphiwe Dyantyi. Kurtley Beale being put under pressure. He tried to go wide, it was the wrong decision. Aphiwe Dyantyi, it's a gift, thank you very much. And the crowd is right into this early on. But so much pressure there on Kurtley Beale. Will Genia, they didn't get the go forward they wanted. Too much pressure, looks up Faf de Klerk all over him. Dyantyi, thank you very much. Box open the account early.
Well, it's a first score for Aphiwe Dyantyi against Australia. His 8th test appearance today, a 6th test try, and Pollard adds the extra 2.
Yeah, what a start by the Boks. A couple of big hits by the forwards of the Springboks. Another one we see constant pressure by the Springboks. The ball going back to Kurtley Beale, and Aphiwe Dyantyi with an intercept try. 7-0 to the Boks.
So Matt Tamua with the restart, and Marika Koroibete was very quick to make the hit on run-on debutant Sikhumbuzo Notshe. The clearance from Faf de Klerk. Just going back to the try, the result of pressure from the Springboks early on. It was a feature of their game against New Zealand. And the Wallabies off the top of the line out quickly into midfield. Coleman came round the corner. He missed out on the test match in Brisbane. And then through the hands of Folau Fainga'a, promoted to the starting lineup after the injury to Tatafu Polodana. Beale trying to make amends with a little dart of his own. Still an advantage being played here by Jerome Garces as Ned Hanigan carries towards halfway. Genia, Folau out the back. And then Hooper. No advantage there, and Jerome Garces will bring them back for a penalty to Australia, about 40 metres out.
Yeah, it was a long advantage. Also, you can see what Australia are trying to do. Because the line-out hasn't functioned well, they're trying to speed up play from the line-out to almost catch the Springboks unaware, but good tempo play, trying to pick up the intensity from the Australians, and they got the result. They built pressure and penalty awarded.
9. For penalty, you can play a long advantage. Okay? No,
that's a double pump on the line-out there. You're not allowed to do that. The penalty going over and not being allowed to release. That's a lot later. That's when the advantage was being played. But you can see already using Israel Folau in the midfield, trying to get gain line dominance by using the big man, trucking it up.
So Matt Tumua, who scored 15 points against Springboks in Brisbane with a try, 2 conversions and 2 penalties, lines up his first shot at goal, about 45 metres on the angle. Watching it anxiously, and well, he might have just slipped away to the left of the uprights. So a let-off for South Africa.
Back.
Pollard's restart. Coleman tapped back, but under pressure off the boot then of Hooper, and away for Beale. Slipped away from the tackle of Pieter-Steph du Toit. Now Dane Haylett-Petty making some good ground. Du Toit working very hard to make the back tackle. Tumua. Coleman waits again and quickly out of the back. Fainga'a held up by Etzebeth. Just manages to work it to ground, perhaps before maul was called. Beale looking for a little half gap through the centre yet again. Pieter-Steph du Toit is the tackler. Mostert and du Toit this time inflicting the damage, and there's a penalty coming South Africa's way. The ball held on the ground. Pieter-Steph du Toit influential in the early stages of this game.
2 green against.
Yeah, and you can see that the Springbok team, they're getting the defense right. They're getting plenty of line speed because they're not committing to the breakdown. So every time the Wallabies get the ball, there's a green wave running towards them, and the hits are pretty solid. So the hits be made to count, but from the Springboks, pretty good line speed. Eventually, you're going to make, well, the pressure's going to come. Look at that. Haylett-Petty into 2 of the bigger men in the Springbok pack. There's only going to be one winner, and that's Pieter-Steph du Toit.
Front ball for Eben Etzebeth, and the Springboks packing around him and get some good movement with them all, but then in the side comes Ned Hanigan, presenting another penalty opportunity to the Springboks. Now, how do they feel about kicking for the corner? Pollard straight away gets ball in hand and lines up a touch kick.
Attack from behind, not from the side.
Yeah, it's an interesting tactic. You can see the Wallabies giving the Springboks front ball and trying to hit it from the side. So the touchline, there's touchline pressure. This time, South Africa going with a shorter line out.
Marx goes, it's a wonderful tap back. It was Coleman who got up to make the steal. Crucial intervention.
Matthew, it's a crucial steal that.
Stay one.
If the Springboks get that, there's no one going behind them because there's no contest. So Eben will be open at the back, but look at that. Coleman reads it beautifully. It's a great steal from Australia.
And tapped on by de Klerk. Pollard was under pressure. Really did repel the hit of David Pocock. Now de Klerk goes to the boot, chased down by Dyantyi. Lost forward by Dane Haylett-Petty. I know a number of people, not least the one sitting next to me, who's been really looking forward to this moment, the first scrum of this game. Taniela Tupou starting a test match for the first time.
No.
The 22-year-old tight head from the Reds, all 135 kilos of him.
Yeah, it's going to be a good contest up front. Look at that high. Dane Haylett-Petty pretty good under the high ball, but a massive contest. But Taniela Tupou, a very good scrummer. He was good in Brisbane when he came on up against B, so this should be a massive area here. Saw the Wallabies with an extended warm-up doing a lot of scrum setups. So obviously looking to take on the box in this area.
Change of picture. Huh?
Well, Aphiwe Dyantyi has taken up a position here, right next to Handré
It's not a
Pollard.
good picture for me, on this side.
Yeah, quite interesting setup by the box, and also the Australian defensive team. You see Haylett-Petty quite flat, Folau already across, and some space behind the midfield of Australia. Let's see what the box have got for us.
Set. Stable, stay like this. Stay. Okay, stay again. Use it.
Very solid from both packs. Pollard, Kriel. He was looking for the big ball over the top. It was pretty well read by Israel Folau. He had an outside chance at a little tap and interception, as Kriel was looking for Kolbe to his outside.
Well, something's upset the crowd. They think Folau touched that ball.
I have no idea about.
It's the box trying to go wide nice and early. But he did touch it.
Well, Faf de Klerk got his pass away. There was an advantage here.
Advantage.
By the looks of it, he was taken out in the air. Strong contribution from Pieter-Steph du Toit, and then Eben Etzebeth, after Captain Kolisi had led the charge initially.
5 green. Number. Here.
Well, that call has come from Matthew Cardi, the English assistant referee.
Number 2 goal.
For the
tackle the player in the air.
Tackle on Faf de Klerk as he got the pass away.
5. The gate.
Jerome Garces there just explaining to Franco Mostert that they had to come back for this penalty because he'd come in from the side at that last ruck.
And this is the penalty, so they go with Hooper at the front.
Don't tackle the player in the air.
The penalty given here for that hit on Faf de Klerk, played in the air, dangerous play.
Marx finds Etzebeth once again. Interesting that Australia are employing Hooper as well as a contester in front of the lineouts, but that hasn't bothered the Springboks here. They've got some good momentum through their maul.
Back,
and still moving. Arm out for penalty advantage. Little snipe from de Klerk. Pollard. Here's le Roux with Dyantyi to his left. Just couldn't hang on, and they will come back for the penalty. It's a wonderful scoring opportunity. Just all South Africa at the moment in terms of territory, certainly.
Yeah, and the maul doing plenty of damage for the Australians.
The first penalty on the maul.
The Springboks nice and set, and once it's set, the ball's at the back and you haven't stopped it, it's doomsday from then on. Penalty conceded, collapse from the Wallabies. The Springboks here, they've got Australia on the ropes. Chances are they're going to go for kick for touch and another maul.
Okay. 2.
Well, they got some immediate go forward from their maul at the previous line-out, with Australia opting to contest. It is Etzebeth the target, but no such contest this time. Did they drive in before he was back on terra firma?
Side.
Have managed to work the ball back for Malcolm Marx, but no space up that touchline. Esterhuizen. Down by Adam Coleman, and then
Keep the ball.
Holding on to the ball on the ground, fair contest.
Yeah, and Esterhuizen ran straight back into the pack, and guess who was waiting? David Pocock. That's still number 7 in the Rugby Championship for him. Probably the one player you didn't want
better than the other one
at the breakdown when you took it up there, but also better more stopping from Australia. They weathered the storm there. Their timing was good on the hit, and they stopped the South African more.
I can have a look all the time.
Great effort from the Australian pack, and also David Pocock
Open the
with
gap,
the steal. Just the timing of him, he gets there wide base. Esterhuizen can't place that ball because Pocock is so quick. The timing is excellent.
There's variation at the front with Izack Rodda, who got it back for Fainga'a, who lost it forward. So just when they've been offered some relief, the Wallabies gift possession back to South Africa with a scrum.
Yeah, the pressure from South Africa has been fantastic, and the Wallabies seem a little bit erratic when they get the ball. A lot of handling errors, getting the line-out ball, but again, the pass back and not being able to hold on. Gifting possession to South Africa once more.
Jean, and also, Hanigan was open there. They should have just gone for the conventional, you know, jump and take, trying to silly move here. Chances are he gets tackled. He got monstered by Malcolm Marx. They're going to have a ruck in the 5 meter, and it's not really a good position you want to play from.
There was a dummy run from Esterhuizen, and the ball went for Kolbe behind him. And another turnover for the Wallabies. You said it before, guess who over the ball? The trademark scrum cap of David Pocock.
His timing is just so good. Knows when to sort of stay out with the benefit of experience, knows when to go in, contest to stay out when it's, you know, a lost contest. But David Pocock, phenomenal now. Cheslin Kolbe trying to get momentum, but once he's over the ball, one of the hardest players to move. It's the dummy mover as he steps back in there. Pocock straight and over it, wide base, low body position.
Another untidy line-out from the Wallabies, and Beale goes the aerial route. Le Roux makes a call.
Advantage win.
And Cheslin Kolbe was there to gather the scraps. I think there may have been a knock there from Israel Folau as he contested that ball in the air with Willie le Roux.
Please back.
Very slow to emerge from the base of that ruck. Etzebeth for Willie le Roux, and the cut-out pass is good. Here is Pollard. Looks to his inside for Kolisi. Le Roux to his inside. Kolisi though, caught from behind in the tackle by Marika Koroibete, and the ball's gone forward.
Siya Kolisi did not see him coming. Koroibete, good scramble defense from the Australian wing. This is a great pass here, Jean de Villiers from Willie le Roux. Look at Siya Kolisi, he thinks he's in open space here. He's looking, he's going now. And he's caught from the back.
Yeah, great, very ambitious from the Springboks, you know, attacking from their own 22, having the vision to see the space in the back and attacking that. Siya not seeing Koroibete, catching him from behind, and another opportunity lost for South Africa. That has been their Achilles heel all year as well. They were able to capitalize on the opportunities against New Zealand. They've had a few today, not able to capitalize on it, and hopefully they can start putting that pressure into points.
Genia for Dane Haylett-Petty as the first receiver. Koroibete was running in there for a short pop ball which didn't materialize. Quicker ball for Genia this time. Hanigan. Wonderful tackle from Kolisi, which drew some appreciation from the crowd, and Willie le Roux Up in the air, that's lost forward, so at the very least there'll be a scrum. But Kriel wants to counter. Just a scrum advantage showing. It looked like a fair contest in live play between le Roux and a Wallaby player, and another Springbok player in the air. Good fall awkwardly. Oh, that hasn't gone to hand, and
You want the pressure.
back they come for the scrum.
Always green under pressure. Scrum. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, green and green.
Yeah,
And after the
I might have
crash.
heard the
So you
TMO
play
there.
on.
He's just reviewed it. It was a
It's
collision
green
between
and
two
green.
Springbok players, which caused Willie le Roux
It's green and
to
green.
fall awkwardly.
Green and green. Michael, it's green and green in the air. So it's play on.
That's the right call.
Good call, boys. Good call.
25, but plenty of opportunities, Jean, for the Springboks out wide, especially from turnover ball.
Here.
They just need to get the ball there perfectly.
Now we have a look.
Yeah, a lot of contact there. A couple of guys down, and the intensity has been quite high, but we have seen a lot of handling errors, and
Wayne. Okay.
and both teams looking to capitalize on that. As mentioned before, the Springboks with quite a bit of ambition in terms of the turnovers that they get, but being able to capitalize on it is the important thing, and they haven't been able to convert that into points. Still just 7 points in it. Australia
Yeah, under pressure.
in the South African half, and it's dangerous when you don't capitalize on those opportunities.
And if for whatever reason you missed the start of the game, you missed the try from Aphiwe Dyantyi. Kolisi already
Good picture.
making his presence felt, some big hits on defence. A lot of those meters in that surge upfield from outside their own 22, but Aphiwe Dyantyi putting South Africa on the board in the first 30 seconds of the game with an interception try. Kurtley Beale throwing a wide pass, speculative at best, in his own 22. Before a lot of people would have settled into their chairs.
Stay strong. Stay.
The scrum has been a very solid contest so far in the game. It's a perfectly weighted kick now from Pollard, and Kolbe slipping away from two tacklers.
Oh, play on. No material effect.
Out the back from Notshe. And Etzebeth floating a pass away for Dyantyi. Goes to the boot, and they're certainly not wanting that to roll into touch. He just ran out of space on that left wing.
This was a great kick from Pollard to Kolbe, and Kolbe does well in contact, a bit of pressure, bouncing off defenders, and then on the box trying to find a bit of width.
Some more pressure on Will Genia, following a Wallaby line out. Rodda away for Pocock.
No, leave it.
Fainga'a sets it well. Beale. Another test under the high ball, this time for Dyantyi. He does brilliantly. And quick ball for Faf de Klerk to snipe off Malcolm Marx. Reece Hodge sort of fell at his feet to make the tackle. And Pieter-Steph du Toit with not much ground to work with. Mtawarira. First opportunity for the crowd to roar his nickname. And Pollard goes to the line. Beats a second man. Here's de Klerk. Faf de Klerk has a third test try. A scything break from Handré Pollard. Two defenders taken out in his wake, creating the space.
And Pollard takes the ball flat. The low numbers there, number 2 and 3, it's a mismatch. And a classic support line from Faf de Klerk, but Handré Pollard looked up, he saw two big men in front of him, was brave enough to take them on, and pretty easy from then on. But Faf de Klerk, what a great support line he ran.
A first try against Australia for de Klerk in his third test against the Wallabies, and the man who initiated it all adds the extra 2 points.
Well, great play by Handré Pollard. He did what he does best, taking the ball to the line, beating the front rowers, and a great line by Faf de Klerk with the support on the inside. Another try by South Africa, all created by quick ball. Being able to generate fast racks, quick ball to the backs, defense not being able to organize, and the backs exposing the gaps.
Well, by some distance, the best start that the Springboks have made to a test match in 2018. Often had to play catch-up. Sikhumbuzo Notshe, good surge from him from inside his 22. The hoist from de Klerk. Dyantyi with the chase. Excellent work in the air once again from Dane Haylett-Petty. Through the hands of Tupou from Beale. They often swap roles. Hodge brought down by Kolbe and Jesse Kriel. Getting in over the ball, but quickly cleaned off it. Very flat from Tupou for Coleman. And popped up for Hooper. Lost backwards by Rodda. Clever little dink through from Will Genia. And Kolbe just shepherding the ball. It can often go the wrong way. But just making sure as best he could that South Africa get the throw to the line-out.
Yeah, and that's one of the first times we actually see one of the Australian forwards get over the gain line and get an offload going. They've been tackled back quite hard in the early stages of this game, but it will open up as we move along in this game.
And the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium has started to sing. It is just magnificent. Singing and dancing in the stands. And only just into the second quarter of the game. It's working a better angle here for the clearance kick. And de Klerk taking that responsibility, but straight into the welcoming arms of Israel Folau. Away for Haylett-Petty. He finds Reece Hodge away to his right, the loop around.
Okay. Yeah.
But he's not in a position to regather it.
So just a penalty?
Just a penalty.
Well, it's just a penalty against Willie le Roux. Wayne Barnes
because he tried to catch the ball.
Called in by Jerome Garces. If he had been able to grab the rebound, it could have got interesting. And Australia already feeling that they're needing to chase the game here. Tupou kicking into that right corner.
Agree with you.
It's a great pass from Haylett-Petty. He gets smoked right at the end of it by Esterhuizen. I thought this was a good read from Willie le Roux. It's that hand there came out, that's why I got penalised.
Hooper again the target at the front of the Wallabies line-out, and they found a way through. Genia, Beale, here's Tupou, and Haylett-Petty brilliantly dragged down by Kolbe, who's back on his feet to try and make the steal. There's an advantage being shown by Jerome Garces. That pass from Beale is a little bit behind the man to his outside. Another big tackle. They are flying in thick and fast. Taniela Tupou with the carry. Coleman, Notshe and Malcolm Marx making a decent defensive read. Then over the top, and Hodge is in for Australia's try. They have brought some silence to the stadium.
And the pass is okay for me. Yeah.
What a pass from Will Genia. Off to Hodge. Aphiwe Dyantyi actually came in. He was in no man's land, caught between the ball and the defender. Reece Hodge. It will have a little bit of work to do, but this is a great pass. Skips out 4 or 5 Springbok defenders, and Hodge slides in. But it's been a patient build-up from the Wallabies. Eventually something had to give, but a great pass from Will Genia. to find that man out wide in the trams.
It's an 8th test try for Reece Hodge, his first against the Springboks. And some brilliant advantage as well, played by Jerome Garces. He gave the movement time to unfold. As you mentioned, Shim, the Wallabies stayed patient, and Genia picking the right pass at the perfect time. Hodge kicked his width well as well. So Tamua to bring the Wallabies back within 7. Drag that across the face of the uprights, but that score will certainly give the Wallabies a lift.
Yeah, good try by the Wallabies, putting some pressure on the box. Great pass by Will Genia, and Aphiwe Dyantyi again, not needed to go in there, and unfortunately exposed there on the left-hand side.
Pollard's restart, gathered by the Wallabies captain, Michael Hooper. A little slow in emerging for the Wallabies. It's another good aggressive tackle though, this time on Fainga'a. Beale's clearance up towards halfway, a very good one.
Goal on the line.
A simple plan from the Wallabies. It's tended to look a little frenetic at times out the back. Etzebeth goes high to win yet another line-out ball. It's out the back from Frans Malherbe, which put a bit of pressure on André Esterhuizen, the pass going much higher than he intended. Mtawarira trying to regain some of that momentum. Shaping for the kick is de Klerk. Swirling a little in the air down towards Dane Haylett-Petty. Gets his pass away just before contact. A little snipe from Genia for Koroibete down the left, and Genia chased down by de Klerk, who won't get him. And the Wallabies have their second in quick succession, right back into this game after enduring a Springbok storm in the first quarter of this game.
Yeah, they've weathered the storm. The Wallabies.
Just check the feet by 11 goals. I don't think it's. Give me 2 minutes to check.
Okay.
So maybe
the feet.
Graham Hughes has something to judge here. Was there a foot in touch? Yep, nothing there.
Safe.
For us on the field, it's correct. Ram?
Jerome, that's fine. Yeah, you may award the try.
Yeah, then Australia are punishing South Africa's bad kicks. Faf de Klerk tried to do that box kick, he mistimed it. And if you're going to kick, go distance or kick it contestable. At the moment, it's neither, and that's how Australia got this try. Fantastic backing up from Will Genia. But the South African kicking game is being punished on the counter by Australia.
Now, Dane Haylett-Petty made some good ground at first. And the defensive line was not aligned. Beautifully exploited by Genia and Koroibete. Genia on the score sheet against Argentina 2 weeks ago in the Gold Coast, and now his third test try against South Africa, 17th in total. And Tamua this time has judged a slightly swirling breeze inside the stadium to perfection. 2 points in it on the half-hour mark.
Much better kick by Matt Tamua, and again this Australian backline shows how dangerous they are. Will Genia with a try at the end, but exposing the defensive frailties of South Africa on the blind.
Genia shaped to kick and thought better of it. gave his skipper a slightly unexpected pass. Now Ned Hanigan brought firmly to ground. And the pass from Haylett-Petty way behind Marika Koroibete. So the Wallabies, having fought their way back into the game superbly, have put themselves under pressure here with a couple of unforced errors.
It's been big hits. I mentioned about the Australian team lacking a bit of punch up front in terms of ball carry. That's where an area where South Africa has been good in terms of hitting the forwards back and won that contest. But because of that tackle, when they try to go wide on an exit, they're very panicky, purely because the Australians aren't getting gain line dominance.
8. 11.
There's a change being made here.
Extra, yeah? What's the problem?
Yeah, so Jack Maddox replacing Marika Koroibete. We'll have a look if that's a permanent replacement or if it's for injury. We'll give you an update shortly.
So keep like this.
With the way he's leaving the field, it looks like it's potentially not a permanent replacement. Making his way to the medical rooms, and now the crowd's found their voice again. They've been stunned into silence by 2 quick tries. The Springboks go to their maul, which they used to good effect in Wellington a couple of weeks ago. Some solid defence though from the Wallabies. Esterhuizen unable to punch a hole in the defensive line. Big clean out. Gives some slick ball to de Klerk. Now Mtawarira. Genia bringing him down. And here is Kolisi peeling around. Timing of the pass really good from Faf de Klerk, who now goes to the open side for Mtawarira once again. De Klerk, Esterhuizen. More quick ball for Faf de Klerk, and then Pollard. Brilliant tackle from Hodge. De Klerk for Kolbe, and hoisted back inside. But Jerome Garces was playing a penalty advantage to South Africa.
You dive and not offside.
Courageous defense from Australia. The green wave was coming around the corner pretty fast and hard. Well, I thought they'd go for the maul. The Australian pack is actually handling the South African maul a bit better. Penalty, David Pocock not holding up his own body weight, just trying to slow it down. He realizes that quick ball at 7 points, and too early, a little basketball move from Cheslin Kolbe, the right idea. Australia won't be too upset by conceding the penalty.
Number 15 green to the side. I cannot get the score. Once here.
So Pollard has added the points and just stretching out that lead to 5. It's been a wonderful fight back from Australia, who conceded inside the first minute of the game. The first try to Aphiwe Dyantyi, then a second to Faf de Klerk just after the 20-minute mark. Once again, it's Sikhumbuzo Notshe who claims the restart. Dane Haylett-Petty has been quite outstanding with everything hoisted onto him, and perhaps South Africa have got to rethink that tactic. Beale making some good ground. Now Genia has a number of options here. He goes to Coleman. Now Tamua floating his pass away for Michael Hooper. good work on defence from Dyantyi, and then a good counter-ruck from Siya Kolisi as well. Pressure on Folau, does well to get his pass away. Pocock. Beale, Scott Sio, today's test match half-centurion. And eventually Beale goes to the boot. It's with Australia just making no progress with ball in hand. And then the ball lost forward by Handré Pollard, played by a teammate in front of him.
9. It's easy for me.
And the penalty going the way of the Wallabies. In range for Reece Hodge.
Okay, 9.
And range it offsides from, or playing the ball from the front. But Australia handling a kicking game well.
It's an easy penalty for me.
Launching wonderfully, sir. This was the ball played in front, I think, Pieter-Steph du Toit.
Anywhere about.
But handling the kicking game well, Dane Haylett-Petty taking that up and under and launching from there. But sometimes guilty of going wide, and actually not being direct. And that's where, of course, South Africa problems. But a fight back here from Australia, getting plenty of ball to attack with.
Okay. Good scrum.
It was Reece Hodge who goaled a monster of a penalty against South Africa in Brisbane just on the half-time mark to get them back within a point. Such a wonderful weapon to have. A man who can kick them from 60 metres plus in the right conditions. Certainly no problem with distance, but well wide of the uprights from Reece Hodge. Coleman got good support in his leap to collect the restart. Beale quickly out of the back for Hodge. Chased down by Jesse Kriel.
Diving. 15 goal.
Once against Dane Haylett-Petty.
Dive on the player, on the ball.
And an unnecessary gift of a penalty to the Springboks. That'll infuriate Michael Checker and his coaching staff. They've done pretty well to get that ball out wide in the face of some good line speed from Springbok defence.
Yeah, it's soft penalty. There was no threat over the ball. He just sort of no pressure, no defeat or breakdown pressure. He went in there like he was jumping into a swimming pool.
Good timing, good timing. Yeah. Lifter, lifter.
So Malcolm Marx goes to the tail. There was a contest from Coleman on the throw to Pieter-Steph du Toit. Some excellent work done by Cheslin Kolbe to regather. Etzebeth never held as he was brought to ground. And then lost forward by the Springboks in a good position. Well, also no advantage for holding on the ground, just got a little isolated.
On the ball.
Yeah, David is amazing on the ground. I mean, that's his third steal in this game. As you see him, he's always lurking around that breakdown area. But the timing when the player goes to ground, so Eben Etzebeth, he's got every right to go there, not holding the tackle. But look how quick he is over that ball.
I mean, the skill and the technique on the ball is one thing, but every bit as impressive is how often he's there in that position and available to do the work that he does.
And it's pretty dark in those racks, Matt. Not many players like being cleaned out by a Springbok tackle. He's brave enough to get stuck in there.
Fainga'a to Hanigan. And they quickly work it back for the 23-year-old hooker.
Use it now.
Not much ground made by them all. Tamua out the back for Beale, who took a heavy tackle from Esterhuizen as he got rid of the ball. Haylett-Petty slipping a couple of tackles. Oh, work through the middle from Siya Kolisi. Absolutely outstanding. On the stroke of half-time. What can the Springboks do with this brilliantly won turnover?
Good control.
And Willie le Roux furious with himself when he was looking to play with that advantage, potentially with a cross kick. But look at the work here from the Springbok captain.
Oh, this is great. It's an area, possible opportunity. Look at that. And because he goes in so low below the Australian player's shoulders, he can win that counter-rack, wins the height battle. Great timing from Siya Kolisi.
Yeah, good start, good scrum.
Not the first time that we've seen Siya Kolisi in that counter-rucking role. We saw one in his own half, which ultimately the Wallabies were able to rescue, but just another example of applying pressure. It's an important kick this for Handré Pollard. South Africa, if they go into half-time less than a converted try apart from the Wallabies, they'll feel they've done themselves a disservice. But Pollard has put a beautiful strike on that for his second successful penalty. And so Handré Pollard has his second penalty to go with two conversions of the tries scored by Aphiwe Dyantyi and Faf de Klerk for Australia. Tries by Hodge and Genia with a conversion from Tamua. Half-time in Port Elizabeth, South Africa 20, Australia 12. 40 minutes to play in this Rugby Championship test match at Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in Port Elizabeth. South Africa leading Australia 20 points to 12. Couple of tries apiece. South Africa getting out into a 14-point lead at one stage, 14 points to 0. But that statistic very much in their favor as we head into the second 40 minutes. The least second half points conceded in the tournament.
Nathan, what was the crux of that team talk in the Australian change room at halftime?
I think the real focus for us in this second half is to maintain possession. When we can do that, we can get to our landmarks, we can provide ourselves opportunities to put them under pressure defensively, and then make sure our attacking ruck is really rock solid moving forward.
Are you happy with the way the defence is performing at the moment?
Yeah, never happy giving up easy tries, but our consistency in getting on our feet and getting our spacings is going to be really important. Africans are trying to take us to the edge and catch us on those edges, so we've got to make sure we're really rock solid around our inside section so we can be comfortable.
Thank you so much for joining us. All the best for the second half.
Thank you. Cheers.
Well, the thoughts of Nathan Gray, one of the assistant coaches for the Wallabies. He heard him saying how much they dislike giving soft tries away. Certainly it was a very soft one inside the first 30 seconds of the match, scored by Aphiwe Dyantyi, but the Wallabies fighting their way back into the game with great effect. Two tries of their own between the 20th and 30th minute of the match brought them right back into it. And then two penalties from Handré Pollard, taking the lead out to 8 points at half-time. Outstanding counter-ruck just before half-time by the Springbok captain in picture, Siya Kolisi, to set up the penalty, which took the Springboks out to their 8-point lead. Matt Tamua gets the second half underway in Port Elizabeth. And yet again, it's Sikhumbuzo Notshe starting in the number 8 jersey for the first time this evening after 4 previous tests off the bench, who gathers that kickoff. Another hoist from Faf de Klerk, and yet another brilliant take out of the air by Dane Haylett-Petty. He's been quite outstanding in that role. Hodge keeping the width, but an excellent leg tackle from Cheslin Kolbe. Genia for young Izack Rodda. Beale. Taniela Tupou. Wonder how much longer he will be on the field in his first test start. He got a little isolated in contact, and the steal is good. Flung away by Mtawarira. It was a difficult ball for Pieter-Steph du Toit. And pilfered by Michael Hooper, the Australian captain. Another opportunity going a-begging for South Africa. Sio with the carry. Genia. Tumua for Hooper. Lovely flick-on pass from David Pocock for Coleman. Now Beale for Tupou. And Sio once again. Beale had a look to his outside. Very quickly up was the South African defensive line, so no option really but to take the contact. Rodda.
No, okay, we play on.
And Coleman there to make the clean. Then the kick from Genia. And Cheslin Kolbe, who's very at home at fullback, with a good clearance kick, but only him chasing that kick. So the quick throw-in was certainly on towards Dane Haylett-Petty. And now a slightly fractured defensive line. Coleman out the back for Tumua. Some real patience being shown in the build-up here from Australia. And then that pass going forward for Reece Hodge. After all that patience, it's handed back to South Africa.
And we'll also see a replacement for South Africa. The first replacement from a South African point of view in this game. Stephen Kitsoff replacing Tendai Mtawarira. And we also see Marika van Staden waiting and warming up and looking to go onto the pitch.
Yeah, two positive subs there. Kitsoff will bring scrumming power, but van Staden at the breakdown, Australia, you can see now starting to generate quick balls. So probably on there, his job will be to slow down the Australian breakdown so the South Africans can get line speed again defensively.
Just the one test cap so far for van Staden against Argentina in Durban. Stephen Kitsoff straight into the thick of it, holding firm against Taniela Tupou. Cut out ball from Pollard, and Kriel puts it onto the boot for Dyantyi to chase. And just the ball wins the race to the try line. It looked when the ball left Kriel's foot that it was always going to be a little heavy, but the pace of Aphiwe Dyantyi had everyone on the edge of their seat.
Yeah, so close, so close. Would have been a run-in for Dyantyi.
Off the top from Coleman, and Pocock taking the hit. Good clean from Hooper as well. Very efficient from the Wallabies.
No, 2, 5, and 2.
Beale's clearance. Straight down to Dyantyi, who kicks and chases. Pocock got an arm in there, and it was high, it was late, and it has been penalised by Jerome Garces.
Yeah, just wait, and after 8.
And that also provides the opportunity for Marika van Staden to come on. He'll be replacing Sikhumbuzo Notshe. So a bit of a reshuffle in the loose trio for South Africa.
Yeah, that's Pocock, is that trailing arm that hits Dyantyi on the head. So he goes up here, that's fine. There's that arm there, that was the problem, and that's why they conceded the penalty.
So two very different players, van Staden and Notshe. You would imagine that in most scrum circumstances now, Siya Kolisi will pack down at number 8. Pollard for a third penalty. Wow, he is striking it oh so sweetly now. A slightly more conservative approach from the Springboks to what we saw in the first half. They turned down a number of goal-kicking opportunities to kick for the corner, but now 3 penalties in a row from Pollard, just keeping that scoreboard pressure going after the fight back. Plenty of space here for Pollard to exploit. Folau read it easily. That hasn't seen much of the ball out on that right wing. Israel Folau, Haylett-Petty. Coleman. Strong work from Kitsoff. Was trying to rip the ball in the tackle.
Leave it.
Van Staden was having a go over the ball as well. Tamua's turn to go for the hoist. Excellent work under the high ball. Van Staden met in the tackle by Pocock, who then swiveled onto the wrong side of the ball, so couldn't get up and contest. Le Roux finds Kriel, and a hand in there from Hodge. Advantage to South Africa. Le Roux finds Pollard and then Marx. Kolisi for Dyantyi, who's quickly into his stride. Inside for Kolisi. Lost forward by Pieter-Steph du Toit.
Yeah, some wonderful touches in that build-up. Getting the ball to Aphiwe Dyantyi in space. You can see what the players are trying to do. Keeping it alive, not creating the ruck. So beautiful linking between forwards and backs. And Malcolm Marx keeps his line, so keeps the defender out. Siya Kolisi, this is a neat, tidy little touch from the Springbok captain. Look at that, the one-handed offload, and Malcolm Marx trying to keep it alive. It just doesn't land. Ambitious play that didn't come, but good to see the forwards expressing themselves.
But again, a fantastic work rate by Pieter-Steph du Toit. Very unfortunate to make that knock on. He was the first receiver from that attacking move, and also in a position to get that last pass. Unfortunately, couldn't hold on to it. There wouldn't have been a more deserving try scorer, though.
Looking at it a second time, John, and it's almost like he had more time than he thought he had.
Yeah.
A long way down to go. We've seen so much of this attacking intent, though, from within the Springboks' own half, and yet the kicking game not working to particularly good effect. It's been nullified mostly by Dane Haylett-Petty. Looking assured with ball in hand. Hodge used as the battering ram. And the space created for Genia to make his clearance.
It's been a busy old... look at that. Cheslin Kolbe makes the list. I suppose with the amount of ball the Australians have had going wide, it's been a busy day in the wide channels.
Mostert with a line-out take. Etzebeth has generally been the go-to man at line-out time. But once again, South Africa have got their ball moving early. Here's the first call from Jerome Garces, and through the middle comes Hooper to put de Klerk under pressure. See a pretty good rescue act this from South Africa. Hooper could have created a lot more trouble for de Klerk. Etzebeth, standing start, nowhere to go. Van Staden, the pick and drive around the corner. Now de Klerk goes to Le Roux. And the pass from Dyantyi to Marx, definitely forward, but interesting how quickly they changed the point of attack there. Spotted that there were some tight forwards over there in that left channel.
Just the final passes from the Springboks not landing. You see the opportunity trying to look at the weak blindside defense. And John, basics letting us down.
Yeah, it has been, like I said earlier, also Achilles heel, you know, just simple errors like those, the simple things that you need to get right 10 out of 10 times at international level. We're still making a lot of mistakes from that point of view. But they will learn, and another couple of substitutions for Australia. The two props, Sikhumbuzo Notshe and Alan Alatua, replacing Taniela Tupou and Scott Sio.
Well, Sikhumbuzo Notshe coming on at loose head. He's played most of his international career as a tight head. He gets a 98th test cap. We were over in Brisbane for the first game between these sides of the Rugby Championship. There were those who were saying that perhaps Sikhumbuzo Notshe would be left high and dry on 97 test caps, but opportunity for a 99th next week in Argentina, and perhaps an end-of-year tour as well. Alan Alatoa of the Brumbies wins test cap number 27. On the tight head side, he started in Brisbane. The game won 23 points to 18 by Australia. A few injury concerns on both sides. Everyone's set to go now.
No. Don't stand up. No. Stand up, Marxie. Yeah. Too early, your mind. Too early.
Been no real dominance by either side at scrum time. It's been a really good contest. Mick Mallett spoke before the game about Jerome Garces and how excellent he is at managing the engagement of the scrum, getting it properly set.
Yeah, it has been pretty tidy at scrum time. Really pretty evenly matched also the contest, but good scrumming, good shape from both front rows.
Hodge again used as that first receiver to try and get some quick ball for Genia. Beale caught well behind the advantage line.
Tackle without the ball. Tackle without the ball.
Penalty going against South Africa. Noise you might hear in the background is a wave making its way around Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. It has been a real roller coaster affair of a game for the crowd here. They were in full voice at 14-0 up and almost silent as the Wallabies hit back with 2 tries of their own.
And this is the penalty offsides from South Africa, just over eager, but I think Port Elizabeth crowd was probably doing a Mexican wave during the warm-up. The party starts early here.
It's a brilliant line-out steal on an Australian throw. Eben Etzebeth, the man to get up high. It looked as though he might have been played in the air as well. De Klerk from inside his 22, more than happy to make the clearance up to halfway.
That's a good clearance. He was under a lot of pressure. Not really a wall around him, but he did well. That's a very good clearance from Faf de Klerk. What a steal from Eben Etzebeth. Almost gets played in the air late after that steal.
Yeah. A colossus in the lineouts. Eben Etzebeth. And another good contest from the Springboks that time. It has gone back the way of Australia.
This has been an ongoing issue for Australia. Their lineout has been the worst in the Rugby Championship. I think that 70-something% success rate. You can see once the panic sets in, the downward spiral is pretty difficult to get out of it. The Springboks will contest everything now.
No, stop. Greg, Wayne, stop, please. Oh, number.
So after all of that, no contest with Hooper used at the front again. That looked a tad forward to Folau as well. Quick ball for Genia, then Coleman. Alatoa. And Beale switching around to pass off his stronger right hand. Hooper making good ground up the right flank. Sakopi Kepu, head down and into contact.
Yeah, Faf de Klerk just had to go for the ball. That's all he had to do. He played the man, and you can't play the 9. The timing was right, but had to go for the ball.
No more than a penalty. Corner.
So 11 points the difference, still plenty of time in the game, 25 minutes. Michael Hooper looking to make a bit of a statement here. It's a brilliant kick from Tamua.
Green on the line.
Getting the carry from Kepu. The
Don't
ball
put early pressure.
just needed to go for the ball instead of playing the man.
Hooper heading towards being the top line-out winner for Australia. Shortest man in their pack. Often used in that front ball position. And now the penalty advantage for the Wallabies again. More dragged down illegally. Surely they'll kick and set up another one.
Yeah. It's a maul and the Green pull up the maul.
Showed enormous courage defensively against New Zealand in Wellington a couple of weeks ago. The South Africans, and now they're being asked some big defensive questions once again at a critical juncture in the game. Australia deciding on the scrum.
Yeah.
Very solid foundation from the Wallabies. Genia, Beale takes it to the line, and the little switch ball is met with a crunching tackle by André Esterhuizen. Rodda around the corner. Pocock. Not a lot of space for him to work up ahead of steam. Coleman. Haylett-Petty gets it back from Genia. Etzebeth with the tackle that time. Genia again. Rodda. Double tackle on him. One man attacking the ball. Jesse Kriel trying to wriggle his way out of there. But, the arm is out for advantage again. So Beale will go for the cross kick towards Folau. And still there for the Wallabies. Pocock. Nothing emerging there, so it's another penalty. Jesse Kriel was showing that he was making his best attempts to roll out of the way, perhaps a little trapped in there, but was certainly having the effect of slowing Australia's possession.
And unfortunately, the Australian team, were sort of in the 22-meter area, their forwards aren't rolling up their sleeves.
Captain.
So they're getting a lot of possession, but they gain line success.
You need to be careful. Here, penalty here, another here. No more.
You see, it's interesting, is it? You need to be careful. One penalty here, one penalty there, no more. Is that an official warning?
Well, it's a strange chat. I mean, this is impressive. Yeah, Israel Folau. It's a great take, one of the best in the air. So you also got to say Kurtley Beale got that kick perfectly.
Channeling his inner AFL. So Maddock's off. He replaced Marika Koroibete in the first half, and Bernard Foley onto the field. So a backline reshuffle. Haylett-Petty looks as though he can go onto the wing now.
Yeah, the way they're lined up at the moment, you have Foley at 10, Tamua at 12, Folau at 13, Beale at 15, Hodge at wing, and Haylett-Petty on the left wing. So a real mix-up there for the Aussie backline.
At least the forwards know what they're doing.
Up it goes in the front row. The whistle had gone long before Pocock got his hands on the ball.
And that's Stephen Kitsoff starting to launch. It was a strong scrum from the Springbok left-hand side.
And the scrum turn.
So Kitsoff sees head goes under the sternum. That's when the oxygen starts to disappear and you need to come up for air. So Stephen Kitsoff launching. Good, powerful scrum.
Crush! Bye! Sit! Stay strong, stay strong! Use it!
Pocock off the back for Genia. Couple of dummy runners. And then Foley for Beale. And Hodge. Brilliant tackle. But still available for Australia. Lost forward now. So difficult for the players to hear the whistle, even at close quarters. Brilliant defensive effort, denying Reece Hodge in the corner.
And this is very good defense from Aphiwe Dyantyi. Also the counter-attacking from the Springboks, hustling, bustling on the edge there. But Australia have been camped in the South African 22 for a while now. The Springboks desperately need a pressure release.
Michael, the first Messi scrum is the last one here after 60 minutes. So we play.
Michael Hooper just looking for some clarity from Jerome Garces. One or two issues, but they had a good foundation there to strike off the Wallabies. And just as South Africa have spurned a few excellent scoring opportunities, so too now the Wallabies denied.
Stay strong, keep your mind.
Pollard almost all the way back at his dead ball line. Ball not into touch. Here's Kurtley Beale. Launching a counter-attack at great speed. Getting a good step in as well. Coleman with the carry. Now Tumua. A half gap opened up for him. Cut out ball from Genia for Folau. And Genia very quickly back in position to make the pass for Pocock. Getting some good rhythm here. Kepu, well, and Foley made the juggle. There's a couple of knock-ons in there. The first one came off a Springbok hand, so it will be a Wallaby scrum. And maintaining this territorial pressure on the home side, but Foley there was crucial, that little juggle.
Yeah, it's South Africa not able to relieve the pressure at this stage. Will Fainga'a coming on at the moment. He'll be replacing Frans Malherbe, hopefully strengthening that scrum as well and try and get the South African team out of their own territory. Australia with a lot of attack, a lot of opportunities, not being able to score. And if South Africa can get out of their half without conceding points, it'll be a massive mental blow for the Australian effort.
So a change as well for the Wallabies. Brendan Paenga-Amosa on as the replacement hooker. The Reds hooker who started all 3 test matches against Ireland in June. And now involved in a Rugby Championship test match for the first time.
Good scrum.
And the Malherbe low switch also now official.
Good scrum, eh?
So fully replaced front row for the Wallabies now. Both South African props have been swapped.
Crush! Bye!
Genia snipes. Foley with the little inside ball. And
Just a penalty.
well, initially he signalled a scrum. Then
It's like your penalty here against your team. Remember here, I take
changed
advantage,
to a penalty.
advantage over.
Michael Hooper's in there quickly asking if that shouldn't have been a yellow card, and Garces very quick to tell him that there was a similar situation involving the Wallabies where they only had a penalty awarded against them. So
And the tackle count for the Springboks going up on 119 now, 14 missed. It was almost like a hit and hope from Faf de Klerk.
I'm not sure if he even got a hand on it at first. It's almost at the second attempt it went forward off his chest.
Yeah, he might have had a better chance if he opened his eyes. It seemed as if his eyes was closed as well.
That from the master of the interception.
Crush! Bye! Sit!
Pocock just hands it off for Genia. Little loop around from Foley. Coleman finds Genia, who again swivels to get to his stronger right hand. Folau got away from Esterhuizen at first, but he chased him down. Well, another penalty. And a card by the looks of things.
11!
Against Aphiwe Dyantyi.
Too many penalty against your team.
Yeah,
You never support
just a victim of circumstances because basically the next person that gave away a
Not a good
penalty
picture.
was going to go for the Springboks. He made a good read defensively on Folau to try cut off that offload, but didn't hold his feet on the steal. And the Wallabies are coming. South Africa have been forced to make plenty of tackles. So this is a good read from Aphiwe Dyantyi. Does well, he just needs to hold his body weight. His elbows are already on the ground. That's why he was penalized and falling over.
It was a similar time of the game when Willie le Roux got his yellow card in Wellington. At 65 minutes, to the tail they go. And a missed line out by the Wallabies. Secured for the Springboks by Pieter-Steph du Toit. De Klerk finds Malcolm Marx tight against the touchline. Kitsoff. Early read from Coleman and Pocock on defence. De Klerk on to Folau. That ball's been lost by the Wallabies as well. Etzebeth, De Klerk, Pollard. On the bounce to Kriel. He's isolated in the tackle. Looked like a neck roll potentially on Pollard there as well. Now Pollard just looking to get the Springboks down into Wallaby territory, away from Haylett-Petty for Folau. Well, it was a good defensive read from Kolisi, but he couldn't complete the tackle, and now Hooper onto the boot and chased down by Genia. Marx is back to make the tackle. Hooper there to make the clean. Here's Beale. A fractured and unstructured defensive line. Springboks battling to get back in position, and a man short. Quickly up was Faf de Klerk to make the tackle on Fainga'a. Beautifully taken by Michael Hooper. He had to go very high to get it. Then Genia caught by Esterhuizen. And the Wallabies have lost it once again.
It looks like a ball fight down there, Matt. Counter-ruck off the counter-ruck.
Now Pollard finds de Klerk. Here's Kriel. And then Kolbe with lots of space. Oh! Unable to step Folau. There's a penalty advantage. The indication is that Folau went high. Du Toit secures the loose ball on the deck, and then de Klerk with the kick. Kolbe with the chase.
Half-time called ball 14, but just a penalty because the player
Cheslin Kolbe in open space. Folau definitely goes high around the neck. Just could never get in the right position, wary of the step.
Just a penalty.
You're going to give us the other part. They're also going to, when we get there.
The players leave. And the number 14.
Yeah, it's a good play by South Africa and good defence by Israel Folau. It did go a little bit high. Quite a significant difference in height there. But we see a little bit of a package of Cheslin Kolbe. He's got the ability to bamboozle defences and has beaten plenty of players in the past and really fights above his weight. Look at that commitment from a defensive point of view. Good game from Cheslin Kolbe thus far.
Yeah, he's dispelling the myths about size being too much of a relevant factor in defence. Certainly this evening he's put in some really outstanding tackles.
Interesting, the game sort of lost a bit of shape, but the big man there, Arceus Neyman, look at the forward still left.
Well, that's a big mistake from Handré Pollard. He's kicked it all the way into the in-goal area from a penalty, so they'll come back for a scrum.
Sorry? Yeah.
That was the transference of pressure that South Africa needed.
And Bongi Mbonambi also entering the fray now, replacing Malcolm Marx.
5.
Now bouncing just in the field of play and then a cross touch in goal.
5.
So Bongi Mbonambi.
And from an Australian point of view, Will Genia also off the field now. He's replaced by Nick Phipps.
21st Test cap for Bongi Mbonambi.
Cross.
So Phipps with his first feed. Tumua cuts out Foley to find Folau. And Beale holds it up long enough. That's the pass for Folau, and the tackle made by Kolisi. The ball lost forward in the contact. Now de Klerk puts the kick downfield. Back for it goes Dane Haylett-Petty. And the tackle made by Esterhuizen. Kriel flying in there. Just important to have relieved some of that territorial pressure. It's a clever kick from de Klerk. Phipps for Foley. The Waratahs pair, and Foley clearing for touch. And some much-needed relief and an opportunity to manage the clock a little bit here for South Africa.
Aphiwe Dyantyi soon be back on, but this man's been powerful. This Rugby Championship, good defensive hits, good carries, and always present Pieter-Steph du Toit. Mixes between the side of the scrum, the middle of the scrum, but the impact is still the same. Always going forward on defense and attack.
Etzebeth with another line-out win for him. And the Springboks will be only too happy to try and, well, to try and manage this maul and inch it forward, but handling error at the base of it.
No idea. Maybe yes.
And Faf de Klerk remains on the field. He's played every minute of every game in the Rugby Championship. Those stats are across the whole game. 4 of them Springbok forwards.
I said here, between you on the line, so it's better for you. Okay?
Once again, South Africa less than 40% of the possession across the game. It was a lot lower than that, of course, against New Zealand in a game they managed to win.
Good scrum for one, collapsed by Green.
That's a very good scrum from Australia. It sort of took South Africa by surprise. But Sikhumbuzo Notshe, prominent. So got that march on.
And the first scrum penalty of the game.
Green on the line, Green.
Oh, that's pretty rare, but see Wilkela, the knees on the ground, and that's the back 5 power from Australia. Already coming in, Stephen Kitsoff almost losing his hip slightly.
Foley took it very flat, and Australia trying to make full use of the width here available to them and exploit that one-man advantage, which will be extinguished in just over a minute from now. Another handling error from the Wallabies. Well, if we drew attention to missed opportunities by the Springboks in the first half of the game, the Wallabies have spurned their share.
Now the Wallabies have had plenty of possession. They've dominated possession and probably territory in the second half. But I mentioned it earlier on, they just lack punch up front. Look at that, plenty of tackles made by the Springboks. But the Wallabies just lack punch on attack. The forwards don't really get gain line dominance. You know, they ask a lot of Pocock. We've seen Hooper out wide in the trams, sort of dancing around that area, but through the middle, the big men aren't getting gain line dominance. Siya Kolisi, Pieter-Steph du Toit, Franco Mostert have tackled pretty well around the ruck area.
De Klerk for Pollard. Then Kriel. And le Roux quickly caught, but Kriel looping around brilliantly. Kolbe.
Back.
Mostert.
No, over the ruck! Leave it over the ruck more. No, the ruck.
Time now up on the yellow card clock, so Aphiwe Dyantyi will be making his reappearance at the next break in play. Etzebeth.
Back.
De Klerk's kick. Again, easily handled by the Wallabies. Foley. In the hands of Tamura and Beale. Then Hooper said it. Another brilliant intervention from Siya Kolisi, creating the pressure on Nick Phipps and forcing the mistake.
That's a big strength of Siya Kolisi. You can see he took his timing. They just got back. Not the timing right, but his defensive ruck ability, he's got his anticipation in that area is phenomenal. So he's just waiting, and he snipes. Siya Kolisi, you've seen a couple of counter rucks also from him, but the timing and the decision making is almost perfect all the time. Ferbs didn't expect that. Got blindsided by the captain.
Yeah, great effort by Siya Kolisi. Aphiwe Dyantyi is back on the pitch as well, and also some fresh legs in André Esterhuizen, replacing Eben Etzebeth in the second row. For Australia, Rob Simmons and Rory Arnold also crept onto the pitch. They replaced the second rows of Izack Rodda and Adam Coleman.
So Handré Pollard just in to have a word with Faf de Klerk, and Cheslin Kolbe positioned there directly behind Handré Pollard.
No. We are bind, you are set. Find the gap. Crouch! Bye! Sit!
De Klerk, and it's a short ball for André Esterhuizen. It was also lost in contact. Just a flow of mistakes from both sides in the closing quarter of this game. Phipps Foley had to get rid of it quickly for Hanigan. Foley again under pressure as he made the pass. It's a good take from Folau. He had to halt his run. Haylett-Petty sets it. And, the Wallabies have lost ground in this movement. Arnold. And here's Beale looping around again. A beautiful little show of the ball and then releasing Foley. Tumua for Fainga'a. Kepu hits it on for Beale. Finds Pocock in the wider channels with Haylett-Petty to his right. Excellent tackle made on Pocock. Simmons. And Dyantyi going for the interception. He was so quick to fly out of the line.
He was gone. It's been a frustrating day for him. Look, he's probed for that, but that was the right decision. Look at this, he gets this. He's gone. No one was home.
It looks as though the Springboks have done just about enough. It's been a very patchy second half performance from both sides. 21 handling errors in the game. Tells a story all of its own. 20 points to 12. South Africa led at the break. And just the solitary Handré Pollard penalty early in the second half.
Yeah, Matthew, it's quite bizarre. A lot of line breaks, but for both teams, it seems as if the last pass just didn't want to land. You know, the second half almost Brisbane-like in terms of handling errors, dropping the ball, not finishing rather.
No, in this side you engage.
There's surely one final set piece. It's taken over a minute now to get this scrum set.
Crouch. Bye. Set.
Siren sounds, and Handré Pollard happy to say that enough is enough. He contributed 3 penalties and 2 conversions to the cause. The conversions of tries by Aphiwe Dyantyi and Faf de Klerk, both of them coming in the first quarter of the game. Australia head back, having been 14-0 down, to score tries through Reece Hodge and Will Genia, one of them converted by Matt Tumua. And then Pollard added his 3 penalties either side of half side. The Wallabies still winless in South Africa since 2011. South Africa victorious in Port Elizabeth full time. South Africa 23, Australia 12.